Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us
Hey.
today, and I'm going to turn the presentation on over to you.
Alrighty, awesome. Well, first and foremost, Alexa, I'd like to thank you for allowing me to talk to SCORE today. We're huge fans of SCORE and everything that it represents with helping small businesses and that ecosystem. In fact, our company, Life Marketing, our goal is actually to help over 1,000 small businesses. And one of the ways that we plan to do that is by giving you some tricks and tips today to help you increase your revenue with SEO. So I'm super excited, and you heard that correctly. We are going to help you make money through SEO, triple your sales through SEO. I'm going to give you everything that we have, giving you all of our secret sauce, all of our tips to help you grow your business. So why don't we go ahead and get this presentation started. If you don't mind, I'd love to quickly introduce myself so that I could talk to you a little bit more about why you should listen to me, who exactly I am, and what makes me credible to even address this presentation to you. So first and foremost, my name is Sherman Standberry. I work with over 350 small businesses actively right now each month to grow their business. And I don't do that alone. I lead a team of people that manage over $15 million a year in annual ad spend that our small business clients trust us to manage on a continuous basis. Our team is composed of over 40 full-time digital marketing specialists. So you name it, SEO specialists, copywriters, advertising specialists, graphic designers, you name it, we have that on our team. And just a small fact about myself as well is that I'm also a partner and CPA at both Life Marketing and an accounting practice that we've launched in partnership with Life Marketing called Life Accounting. But ultimately, my goal today is to show you how you can increase your business through proven digital marketing tactics today. And specifically, this is going to be about SEO and how you can use that to increase your revenue. So let's go ahead and continue, shall we? Number one, I talked a little bit about Life Marketing. This is actually a small picture of us. But really quickly, just to talk a little bit about us, Life Marketing, we're actually fortunate. Last year, Clutch, they named us as one of the top social media marketing agencies in 2017 in the world. And we accomplished this through helping small businesses primarily in the fields of social media marketing, search engine optimization, online advertising, content marketing, and email marketing. And as I told you all, we work primarily with small business owners, entrepreneurs, etc. But we also have some bigger clients as well. And some of these clients may be familiar to you. We've worked with several Hilton locations if you are in hospitality. We also work with people in the education space such as Georgia State University and the American University of Antigua. If you're familiar with NyQuil, we also work with one of their competitors called DayClear and NightClear. If you're into chocolate or candy or consumer goods, we work with a huge chocolate brand called Royce. We love them a lot. It tastes very good. If you're a fitness person, if you own a gym, if you're a personal trainer, we've worked with Crunch Fitness, if you're familiar with them. We've worked with a chain of franchises in that space. If you're into cooking and restaurants, we've worked with Wingstop's franchises. We've also worked with a chain of Domino's Pizza's franchises in Washington. And if you're an e-commerce business owner, we've worked with Indeed Hair Extensions. They're a hair extension brand, and we work with a lot of e-commerce companies and health and beauty, as well as Egyptian Magic, which is a huge skincare brand. So this is just to kind of show that we have diverse experience working with businesses and helping people just like the people who are listening to this presentation. But enough about me. Let's get to the details about what you want. You want to learn how to increase your revenue through SEO. And the remainder of this presentation is going to help you to do that. The first thing I'm going to do today, I'm going to share with you some SEO success stories of people who are making money through SEO right now. Secondly, I'm going to define what is SEO and what does that really mean in 2018. And three, we're going to get you exactly what you want. You want to know how you can do this yourself. I'm going to give you the fundamental building blocks of how you can build your SEO strategy, and number four, most importantly, gain optimal results. So as I told you already, I'm going to give you all the tips, all the secret tricks, and then we're going to have an FAQ session at the end where you can ask me literally anything, and I promise you I will tell you anything you want to know, even if it's what I did for the 4th of July. So why don't we go ahead and get started? So part 1, SEO success stories. And here we're going to share some of the businesses that we're working with right now and how they're using SEO to be successful. And I have to start with life marketing. We actually practice what we preach. And currently, we rank for over 12,000 keywords through the use of SEO. And I wouldn't be a good presenter to you all today if I wasn't doing this for myself. So literally, if you have a tab up, go on Google, type in social media marketing company, social media management company, the benefits of Facebook advertising, the benefits of PPC advertising. Type it in your browser, and I guarantee you will find life marketing somewhere on the front page of Google. And if you're in business to business, if you're looking for leads, then we're the perfect example for you. We currently receive over 100,000 organic monthly visitors to our website, and we want to help you do the same thing. But I recognize that a lot of people listening to this may not be in our industry. They may not be looking for leads. So I have some other examples to inspire you as well. If you're in e-commerce, we work with a company called MotoTrax, and they actually show up on the front page of Google right now. And they actually made $96,000, almost $100,000 through the use of SEO, and they're currently getting over 28,000 monthly hits to their website. And the best part about it is they did this in 6 months. And today I'm going to show you how you can do the exact same thing. But perhaps you're not in e-commerce. Maybe you're a professional service. Maybe you do cleaning. Maybe you do landscaping. Maybe you do something that's, like consulting. Maybe you're in professional services. Well, I have to tell you, you can use SEO to grow your business too. You can use SEO to increase your revenue. We're currently working with a local cleaning service called Amazon Cleaning. And if you type in Atlanta house cleaning service right now in your browser, you'll see that they rank on the front page of Google right now for keywords related to their business. They've increased their organic traffic by over 2,500%, and I'm literally seeing them grow their business purely through the use of SEO. So those are 3 main case studies. I hope you all are inspired by it. I hope that you see that people are getting more traffic, they're gaining more leads, they're increasing their revenue, and I really hope that you're inspired to take away some of the secret sauce or secret tips that I'm going to give you about SEO. So now that you understand that SEO can help you make money and it can help you increase your leads, let's talk about what exactly is SEO. What does it mean? I'm going to break this down so that everyone on this webinar right now can completely understand what exactly what is SEO, and why it is important. So let's go ahead and dive in. Number 1, what is SEO? First and foremost, what does it even stand for? SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization, and it is the process of optimizing your website to get organic, free traffic from the search engine results page. Let me say this again. SEO is the process of showing up on Google when someone is searching for your products or your services. For example, if you have a cleaning service and someone types into Google cleaning services near me and they hit enter, and you will see ads. We're not talking about ads. We're not talking about stuff you have to pay for. We're talking about you showing up organically in the search engines, because Google, what do they love? They love relevance. The reason everyone gets on Google right now is because Google is a relevant and reliable source of information. So what I want you to take away from this webinar is that you need to make your website relevant in order to show up number 1 on Google and to increase your sales, to increase your revenue through SEO. So let me go ahead and continue before I start to ramble. Why is search engines important? I have a few facts here. Number 1, and most importantly, there's 3.5 billion searches every single day. I'm not sure, but I think that's more searches than people that are actually living on the earth. Number 2, 93% of all online activities start with a search engine. Like literally, I know people, I have friends that instead of just typing in facebook.com, they'll go on Google and type in Facebook just to search it first, then click to it. And that just shows you how important search engines has become. And number 3, this is really important, 81%. 81% of people perform a Google search before making a large purchase. So what does this mean? This means that even if you're growing your business through other forms of marketing, whether it's newspaper, traditional forms, radio, etc., that there's still a large percentage, there's still a large possibility that they are still going on Google to do more research about you, to look up your reviews, to get questions that they have answered. And that's very important for people, and it speaks to why search engines is so important. And then lastly, I really like this one. 14.6% of leads from search engines have the conversion rate from traffic or leads from search engines has a 14% close rate. Now, most things in marketing has a 1 to 5% conversion rate, whether you're sending out mailers, whether you're doing Facebook ads, whatever you're doing. But the fact that people from Google are actually searching for you, if you just think about this logically, they're actually searching for what you offer. No other form of marketing allows you to do this. And in fact, the statistics show that it has a 14% conversion rate, which is almost 10 to 15 times higher than other advertising sources. So this is why search engines is important. Moving on, if nothing I said have gotten you excited yet, you must understand why SEO is a must in 3 simple points. Number 1, your customers are using it. They're searching for products and services right now for it. And guess what? If you're not showing up, that means your competitors are getting this business. Number 2, SEO allows you to advertise to people who actually want what you have to offer. And I just told you all about this in the 15% conversion rate that they have from leads into sales. And then number 3, with successful SEO, you can position your website to receive volumes of keyword free traffic. This is completely free. Once you're showing up on Google, you're getting traffic for free. Where else can you advertise from free? And it's perfect because you're doing it from Google where people are actually searching for you. I literally believe that there's not one other advertising source as powerful as Google. But let's move on. So I just defined what is SEO, why it's important, and why it's a must for your business. Now the rest of this webinar, I'm focusing on you, how you can do this. And I'm going to go through this, but if you have questions on any slide of this presentation, write them down. We're going to do an FAQ session at the end, and I'm going to get them answered. I'm going to make sure that you understand how you can optimize your website, get free traffic, increase your leads, increase your sales, and ultimately grow your small business. So, for those who are just joining the webinar, just to repeat, the goal of SEO, this is what we're trying to accomplish. To the left, I have a screenshot of organic search listings. We're trying to get your website, get your business to be listed on the front page of Google when someone's searching for something related to it. And the second screenshot is actually a real screenshot. We want you to make sales from the traffic you're getting. So one of our clients actually generated over $103,000 in revenue from our SEO campaign. And I want to teach you exactly how you can do this. So again, the goal is to increase your rankings, increase your traffic, increase your leads, and ultimately increase your revenue. So here's the first thing that you need to do. And this is literally the foundation of any SEO campaign. You need to create a customer avatar. You need to really think hard and critically about your customers, about the people searching for your products and services, and what their demographics are. So number 1, how old are they? What's their age? What's their gender? What ethnicities are they? You need to really understand the background of your customers. And then to the right, what are their goals and values? What type of information are they consuming? What are their pain points? And that's a really big one, because that way you can optimize your website for pain points that they're searching for solutions for them in Google. What objections do they have in buying your products? What is their role in the purchase process? You really need to think critically about your customer, your customer avatar, your buyer persona, and who's actually buying from you. And here's my tips for success. I really need you to think outside of the box here. Literally, if you need to take out a pen and paper and write out and sketch who your customer avatar is, then I strongly recommend it, because it's the foundation of your campaign. But number 1, what products and services are your customers searching for? Take a moment and list all the different ways that your customers may search for your products and services. And 2, most importantly, what are the pain points? What problems do you solve? And how are your customers searching for that on Google? This is incredibly important because your entire campaign is going to be based off of what your customers want, what they are searching for, and how your business can show up on that search result when they're making it on Google. So that's step 1, defining your customer avatar. Step 2 is performing keyword research to identify the best keywords for your business. So literally, I have a tip here. You can use Google AdWords Keyword Planner, and this is completely free, to type in keywords relevant to your business from your customer avatar and literally see how often it is getting searched. So in the screenshot below, you'll see that I have an arrow pointing to average monthly searches. And what this means is that this tool will allow you to see what words you're interested in optimizing your website for, and how often it's actually being searched, because ultimately you want to make sure that you're ranking for words that people are actually searching. And then next, it will also show you things like your competition. So if it's too competitive, it may not be worth the energy and time for you to optimize your website for it. So that's performing keyword research. But you know I'm not going to leave you without giving you big tips that you need to keep in mind when you actually get on and do your keyword research. So number 1, avoid broad keywords. You really need to be specific. Avoid general keywords, because guess what? Everybody is going to be general. Everyone's going to be simple with the way they think about SEO. But the people who win, the people who are making money from SEO, they're being very specific. They're choosing long-tail keywords. They're choosing things that their competitors may not be thinking about, and they're finding opportunities that are basically have low competition. So avoid being broad. Use the keyword planner to find specific niche keywords and optimize your website for it. And 2, analyze your competition. And I'm going to give you some tools that will allow you to analyze your competitors and see what they're doing. But ultimately, you want to know what people in your industry are ranking for. What are the best keywords? And a competitive analysis will allow you to do this better than anything else. And then 3, analyze your keyword value. I told you this again, and I'm going to say it again. Make sure that you're going after keywords that are actually being searched. You don't want to be generic, but you also want to be specific with words that are actually being searched in Google. That's important. You do not want to waste your time optimizing your website for months and do not receive any traffic in return. So that's incredibly important. And then 3, I wanted to provide you all with some steps to analyze your competitors. What do you need to look for? And this is a big step. Again, you can use SEMrush to do this and plug in a website of your competitors, and you can see how much traffic they're getting. That's key. You want to see how much traffic they're getting and what rankings they have, which is number 2, what keyword rankings they have that they're ranking for that's responsible for that traffic. And guess what? If it's good enough, you're going to want to go after those same rankings and steal your competitors' keywords, basically. Number 3, how are your websites? How are your competitors' websites structured? So you can take a look at their website and kind of start taking notes. How is it designed? What words do they have on their website? Does it load fast? How fast does it load on mobile devices? Is it responsive? All these things factor into SEO, and you're definitely going to want to take a note of these things so that you can beat your competitors and grow your business through SEO. And then 4th and most importantly, what type of content are they producing? Do they have a blog? And what information do they have on that blog? So these are all different things that you can take away just by simply analyzing your competitors. Now here's a pro tip. Again, I told you all, I'm not hiding anything from you. These are the tools you can use to do exactly what I said, to spy on your competitors. There's one called Moz, another one called SpyFu, and 3 is actually the one we use, SEMrush. So if you download SEMrush, you can actually plug in your website or your competitor's website and analyze them. It will even show you the keywords they have or the ads they're running on Google. So I strongly recommend it. This is what our agency uses, so I strongly recommend that you all write this down and try it for yourself. Now, let's go ahead and move on before I really start giving you all the things you need to be successful for an SEO campaign that's going to drive revenue for you. So number 4 is to perform a SEO website audit. you're going to want to audit your website now. We have your avatar, we looked at the competitors, we have the keywords we want. But now we need to take a look inside, look at ourselves and see how is our website performing? Is it set up correctly? So the purpose of this, ultimately, you want to understand your current SEO standing, your strengths, and your weaknesses, okay? And here's a quick checklist that I strongly recommend that you use while you're looking at your website. Number one, how much traffic are you getting from organic search? Benchmark it, write it down, because you're going to want to track your progress after you implement some of the things you're learning today and see how your organic traffic increases. Number two, how many index pages do you have? The larger your website is, the more content on your website, the more pages you have on your website is going to help your website show up on Google more. Why? Just think about it. There's more content on the internet. Google is seeing your name more. You're basically building a relationship with the search engine. So that's why you should blog. That's why you should have a lot of pages. But while you're auditing your website, take a note of how many index pages you have already. Number three is website speed. Late last year, Google actually released an update, and they basically said, hey, if your website takes too long to rank, or to load, you're not going to rank on our search engines. The reason why is because it provides a bad user experience to the people who are using Google to find information. So if your website does not load fast enough, which I typically say you should aim for 3 seconds or less, then you're losing customers potentially because they're going to leave your website, but B, Google is not going to rank you. And then the rest of the things on this checklist are just things you need to check off. How responsive is your website on mobile devices and tablets? Your website bounce rate, meaning how long are people staying on your website? Your website sitemap, meaning just submitting a map of all your pages to Google and the search engine so they can crawl it and understand it for the words that you actually want to rank for. Doing a backlink analysis and see what other websites are actually linking to your website to increase your website's authority. And I'm going to talk about this a little bit more, so if you're concerned, don't worry. Tag optimization, optimizing your meta tags, your title tags. Basically, the coding on your website needs to have the words you want to rank for in order for Google to rank it. And then lastly, image optimization. Naming your images the keywords that you want to rank for helps. Having alt tags with those images with your keywords helps. So these are things that you want to look for as you're doing your website audit. Now, let's talk about on-page SEO optimization. This is all about helping Google read your website for the keywords that you have chosen. Now, this is the most important step because if Google does not understand the words you want to rank for, just to put it simply, you're not going to rank on Google. So these are the things you need to look at when you're optimizing your website for SEO to increase your traffic, to increase your leads, to increase your revenue. Number one, your website coding. Number two, your meta descriptions. Number three, your HTML tags. Number four, keyword density, which simply means how many times are those words on your page or on your website. And five, your sitemap. Now, I know if you're new to SEO, if you just learned what SEO means, you're probably like, okay, I don't know what any of this means. Don't worry. I strongly recommend a plugin. And as I told you, I'm holding nothing back. I strongly recommend that you use a plugin called Yoast. Yoast is a plugin that is popular on WordPress, but I believe they're on a lot of other platforms now. And it will literally walk you through how to optimize your website for SEO. So literally, it will grade you. As you can see in this screenshot, it says problems, improvements, good results. So it will take in consideration the content you have and literally tell you step by step what you need to change in order to optimize your website for SEO. They have videos on how to use their plugin. Basically, if you watch it, you'll learn how to optimize your website for SEO. So again, write this down. This is something that a lot of companies use. It's what our agency uses. It's called Yoast SEO, and it will walk you through optimizing your website for SEO. Again, optimizing your website coding, your meta descriptions, meta tags, HTML tags, keyword density, and it will even submit your sitemap directly to Google. All right, let's keep on moving. So once you download Yoast, you've optimized your website for the words you want to rank for, and you successfully get a green light, meaning you've done everything, Google can now crawl your website. And now, let's say you're ranking on Google, but let's say you're all the way on the 90th page or the 70th page. And by the way, no one's clicking page 2 of Google. So if you're not on the front page, you can probably guarantee, I can probably guarantee you that you're not going to get a lot of traffic. So how do you build your rankings? How do you increase your website authority? Well, the first step is by building what is called backlinks. And what is a backlink? A backlink is simply a link on an external website. Let's say Forbes. Let's say Forbes wrote an article and they included or they mentioned your brand, and when they did, it was a link they could click on to go to your website. As silly as it sounds, that is what a backlink is. And the reason why Google really likes backlinks is because the more backlinks you have, the more exposure your website has throughout the internet, is basically showing Google that your website is relevant. And remember, that's all that Google wants. So you want to try to get backlinks from as many websites as you can, but you want to make sure that they're good websites, not spammy websites, because they can actually blacklist you. So again, that's what is called SEO link-building. And let me go ahead and give you some link-building tips. Here's how you can build backlinks for your business. Okay, number one, guest blogging. Reach out to blogs in your niche and ask them to contribute to their blog. A lot of people will basically allow you to write for them for free if you simply provide them with the content, and in that content include a link to your website, whether it's in your bio or something to that sort. Everybody loves free content, so you being an expert in your business, I'm sure you can get guest blogging opportunities for free. Number two, capitalize on publicity. Remember, if you're on Fox, let's say that you just had a major accomplishment, if you just got on the Inc. 5000 list, or if you just got featured in your local press, if they mention you, go ahead and ask them for a backlink. A lot of people will go ahead and do it, especially if they publish it online. Make sure that anywhere, any event, or anything that your business does online that has your name on it, that you basically ask for a backlink. That will tremendously help your SEO rankings. And then three, create link-worthy content. So I talked about how blogging can help you increase your index pages, because the more content that you have, the better Google can read and identify your website. But creating good blogs also helps, because guess what? All the information on the web, all the people seeking information, it's likely that they will link to your content because it's so valuable. So you can actually get organic, free backlinks to your website by creating great content, by guest blogging, and by capitalizing as much as possible on publicity. Let's go ahead and move on. So I already talked a little bit about blogging, and it can help you gain more credibility with Google. It helps you increase your index pages. So I think we covered this slide. I'm going to go ahead and continue with the presentation. But here are some big blogging tips, or I should say blogging secrets, that a lot of people are missing. A lot of people are not doing this. Write blogs around your customer searches. Be very strategic about what you write your blogs about. So remember that keyword planner that I told you about earlier in this presentation, where you can find keywords? You should plug in questions that people have about your products. What are they searching for? For example, we have a client, they sell skincare products. A question someone might ask is, how can I improve my skincare? Or, skincare regimens. If you're into cooking or meal prepping, they may be searching for, recipes and things to that extent. So it doesn't have to be promotional, but when you think about your customer avatar, you think about their pain points, you think about what leads them to buying your products, that is what you want to write your blogs about. And that is what you want to optimize for Google, so that you can capitalize on that and gain that free traffic that's going to allow you to increase your traffic, increase your leads, and grow your revenue. So my point two is to write blogs around your primary keywords, and I think I tackled that as well. Ultimately, we want to write blogs about things that your customers are searching, and write it about your primary keywords that you want to rank for on your website. So if I want to rank for cleaning services, or if I want to rank for hair care, I'm going to write blogs about that information so that it can help me rank for that on Google. I hope that makes sense for everybody. Now let's talk about social media. So we talked about backlinks, right? The more backlinks you have is basically the more exposure you have throughout the web. And as you know, 80% of people have social media accounts. I mean, there's 2 billion people on Facebook. So of course, social media helps your SEO rankings. The more active you are on social media, the more times Google sees links on social media from that links to your website on Facebook, on Twitter, etc. It helps your SEO. And do you want to know what helps more? Is when people actually engage with that. It's called social signals. When people share your content on their social media accounts, if they like it, if they comment on it, those social media posts can actually show up in Google, but it also, because it's linked to your website, it helps your domain authority. It helps your website strength, and that can push you up the SEO rankings. So in short, here's how SEO helps with SEO. Number one, links to your website. You can place your website links all over your social media profiles, in your bios. Google picks that up. If you type in life marketing, I guarantee you somewhere on the Google results pages, you're going to find our Facebook link, our Twitter link. I promise you, Google is paying attention to your social media accounts, and it can help your SEO. Number two, social media content is indexed. I just told you this. Posts on social media show up in the search engines, and that can help you gain more traffic to grow your business. And then three, social shares help your website authority. Every time your website is shared on social media, it helps your SEO. So let's go ahead and move forward. Once you do all these things, you optimize your website for SEO. You've already done your customer avatar, and then you start doing link building, you start blogging, you start increasing social media activity around your website. Over time, you will see your organic traffic grow and improve. So, what's the big picture? Let me go ahead and summarize, and I want to tackle all of your questions here. SEO can dramatically increase your website traffic. This is actually MotoTrax, which is one of the clients I showed you earlier who made $96,000 in revenue from SEO. This is their Google Analytics. You can see over time, they had 2,700 website clicks when we first started working with them, and over a small period of time, they now have over 30,000 monthly website clicks to their site. And you want to know what that website traffic translates into? If you're selling something that people want, that's going to translate into leads. That's going to translate into more revenue for your business. And as you can see, it did for them. They increased their revenue by over $100,000 through using the same strategy that I just told you about. But it takes time. If you're not patient, you're not going to see results through SEO. It literally takes 6 to 12 months. And if you're quick to see results in months 1 to 3, you might as well not invest in it because you're not going to see much happen in the first 3 months. It takes time for Google to index your site, and it's going to take time for you to actually build your website's authority to show up onto Google. So keep this in mind that SEO is a long-term commitment, but it is totally worth it because you're getting free traffic to your website that you can use to grow your business. Now, once you get all this big information, you have a decision to make. How are you going to implement this? Based off our research, based off of the small businesses that we talk to, only 11% of small businesses that know how to, only 11% even know how to track ROI from digital marketing and SEO. And only 20% of marketers spend more than 10 hours per week on digital marketing and SEO. So the big thing I want you to get away from this is, how can I make money through SEO? And then 2, how am I going to actually implement this strategy to grow my business? And Life Marketing is obviously an agency, and this is just a question I want to ask. Is hiring an agency for you? And whether you take this information from this webinar and do it yourself, just ask yourself 3 questions. Do you have time to handle all of your digital marketing? A lot of people don't, especially if you have active businesses. Number 2, do you have the resources to hire a full-time employee to do your digital marketing, including SEO? These are advanced things. Then 3, will the person you hire have the skills and experience in every aspect of digital marketing? It's more about SEO. What about your analytics? What about your advertising? What about design? So these are things that I want you to consider. But I actually have a special offer for every single person on this webinar. I'm offering a completely free marketing analysis, meaning that we will audit your website's SEO and provide you with some strengths and weaknesses, and you can talk to one of our specialists who can answer more of your questions for completely free. There's no strings attached to this. The only prerequisite that we have is that you must have an open, active business. So if you're still in the planning stage of your business, this would not be for you. But if you have an open business and a valid website address, then you can go to lifemarketing.com/score. Again, lifemarketing.com/score. Put in your contact information. You'll be able to schedule a time to talk to one of our representatives here, and we will actually take a look at your website and provide you with some recommendations. So, Alexa, I know you told me I have 40 minutes, and then we jump into some FAQ. That's all that I had prepared for today. I want to say thank you to everyone who obviously gave me the time to listen to me talk about SEO. I hope that I helped at least one person who can triple their sales through SEO, through the information we've gained. And now I am ready to answer some questions.
Okay, super. Sherman, thank you so much. So we will go ahead and proceed into the Q&A portion of the webinar. I'm going to be reading the chat questions that you all have been sending in. Please continue to submit your questions, and in this time remaining, we will address just as many questions as we possibly can. So with that, let's go ahead and kick off these questions here. Sherman, our first question. This comes to us from Danny, and he'd like to know how much money should a one-man company invest into SEO on average?
You know, that's a great question. I'm so happy to hear it. You know, when we started Life Marketing, we had a trouble with getting traffic, and we had two options. It was one, to do it ourselves and learn it and spend time. That's basically the answer. Do you want to spend your time doing this, or do you want to pay for it? Everything that I told you all in this webinar is basically free. Auditing your website, you know, using SEMrush, figuring out how to code and tag the keywords on your website, guest blogging on other sites, you know, trying to get backlinks. You can do all of this for free. But, you know, obviously with money, you can expedite the process. You can get more help. You have more resources to get featured on other websites. So I think the question comes down to, do you want to spend your time or do you want to spend money? I see a typical SEO campaign costing anywhere from about $800 to $1,000 per month on the low end. Anything cheaper, I would be highly skeptical, because there's a lot of companies that that outsource to like India, and they will put you on like a bunch of spam websites. But again, you don't want spammy backlinks. Google only wants authoritative websites that are linking to you. So to answer your question, it just depends on you. It can cost more if you want to see more results faster, but I think $800 to $1,000 is a fair range to get results within the 6 to 12 month time period that I told you all about in this webinar.
Okay, our next question comes to us from Brian, who says that he's had a website for 6 years. And will he lose or decrease the quality score in Google rankings if he makes an update or changes to the website?
If you do not know what you're doing, it is possible. If you Google online right now, like, you know, SEO mistakes and updating your website, it is possible that you can lose SEO rankings if you make the wrong move. But I'd say really audit your website and use some of the tools that I said. Take a look at your keyword density, the images you have on your website, and as long as you keep those SEO pieces intact, like your meta tags, your coding, your everything related to it, then you should be safe in updating your website. But that is a valid concern. I would say you definitely want to exercise caution. But even the largest websites in the world who are ranking on Google and getting tons of traffic, they update their website all of the time. So it's definitely possible. Content gets outdated, and ultimately at some point you will have no choice but to update your website. But for everyone listening, you can make some mistakes if you do make changes to your website without proper SEO guidance.
All right, Sherman, our next question comes from Carolyn, who would like to know your thoughts on if you agree that organic or free traffic is declining, and should businesses invest in paid traffic?
That's funny. When Google Ads first came out, before any ads showed up on Google, we never thought SEO was a valid way to grow any business because we're like, well, obviously organic search is dead and the ads show up first. But you'd be surprised. There's people who have ad blocking software installed on their computers. There's statistics that say that 67% of people skip past the ads. People really don't even like ads, and it all comes down to relevance. People who are paying to be at the top of Google, their websites, once people click on it, it's a bunch of garbage, honestly, in most cases. But if you actually go down a little bit more and you see the rankings from people who actually earned it, the content is way better. You get way more information. It's more valuable, and it actually helps you with what you're actually looking for. So I would say that organic is definitely not in decline. The SEO industry is actually supposed to be worth $65 billion by 2020. This industry is dramatically growing, so I'd strongly recommend that you pay close attention to organic search, and I highly doubt that it's going anywhere.
All right. Next question comes from Judy, who would like to know if URL shorteners hurt SEO.
What was that? I'm sorry. I want to make sure I understand the question.
Oh, sure. Yeah, Judy would like to know if URL shorteners, do they hurt SEO?
Oh, URL shorteners, like the little Google links or the URL shortener links. Yes, there's mixed thoughts about that. I have heard about it, but everything in SEO is theory, right? So Google hasn't came out and said URL shorteners are bad for your SEO rankings. But if you think about it logically, if the goal of SEO is to help your website show up in Google. So if you're promoting a URL shortener that's from another provider, it is possible. I could see how Google, who relies on an algorithm to rank websites, could potentially give that website the credibility. Again, I know it redirects to your website. I'm not 100% sure if it hurts or helps. But logically thinking, I think that it is a possibility that you could end up not getting that SEO value by using URL shorteners.
All right. Our next question, this comes to us from Yolanda, who would like to know how long should we wait or expect to see effects of the SEO optimization?
Yeah, at least 6 months. Honestly, it literally takes 6 months. We have clients who pay us, and we tell them that it takes at least 6 months, and still after month 2, month 3, they're like, hey, I still didn't get results. And we're like, I'm sorry, it literally takes time. Google, they take their search results very seriously, and in order to knock people off, you really have to demonstrate that your website is relevant. And it's going to take a lot of backlinks. It's going to take a lot of blogging once your website is set up and increasing your social activity. So, 6 months would be the minimum amount of time. If you want to see maximum impact, I'd definitely say 12 months, even 12 to 24 months, honestly. But I know a lot of small business owners with limited budgets, they don't want to hear that. So we've kind of designed our service to help people do that within a 6 to 12 month time frame.
Okay, our next question comes from Janet, who would like to know how many unique visitors is a decent number per month, and what might it take to get sales?
Right. That's a great question as well. So unique visitors, at the end of the day, you want to increase them. You want to get as many as possible. So I can't say that 1,000 or 100,000 is the magic number. But here's something I want you to keep in mind. Whatever you're selling, whether it's e-commerce or whether you want leads, whatever you're doing with your website, keep in mind that the average conversion rate in general is about 1 to 5% of your traffic into leads or sales. So if you keep this in mind, this means if you have 100 people who goes to your website, that worst case scenario, if you're offering something that people want, only 1 or 2 people are going to buy from you. So what does this really mean? This means that you're going to have to get a lot of traffic to your website. Like literally view your website like a store, like a mall, like Walmart, or any website, any store that you walk into. You have to get enough people to your website inside of your store to be able to have the opportunity to even sell your products. So just focus on as much traffic as possible, and obviously 1,000 hits is better than 100, and 100,000 hits is way better than 1,000. So just try to get as much traffic as you possibly can to give your business the best opportunity to grow.
All right, and our next question, this comes to us from Chris, who would like to know if we only have access to our business microsite off of a franchisor's main website. Can any of this be possible?
Franchises are interesting because I know they have limited access, and unless I know specifically what they can do with the microsite, I would be able to answer that question. But in most cases, it does probably have to come from someone from corporate to allow an SEO guy to basically optimize your website structure to be read by Google. But of course, blogging and link building and stuff like that, that can certainly help. And if you want to talk to us more, definitely you can access and let me know what you can do with the microsite, and I can try to look into that situation for you a little bit more. But it ultimately depends on what your franchisor allows you to do with that website and what your abilities are to edit it.
All right, our next question, this comes from Stephanie, who asked if having a closed Facebook group counts towards social media indexing.
That is a great question. I would say I doubt it because I don't think that the content is indexed on closed groups, because I know that if I click it right now, you can't see any content unless you're accepted. So if I had to assume based off of my 7 years of experience doing SEO, if I was trying to get SEO value, I would say no. I would assume that it would not help simply because no one can see that information, and I doubt that Google can pick it up as well. But again, I could be wrong. It's all theory here, but my professional opinion would be that it would not. But obviously there's a lot of benefits of having that Facebook group. So if you need to keep that content gated to have that community, and if you value that, then you certainly need to weigh the pros and cons of that, because there's a lot of ways you can still be successful in influencing your SEO without sacrificing the integrity of that group.
Okay. Our next question, this comes from Salil, who asks, once we get SEO optimized and the site starts showing up at the top, how do we stay at the top after that, as competitors will be doing the same?
That is a fantastic question. So I'll tell you, one thing that is very hard to do that I've learned is to actually lose rankings on Google. Once you're up there, and I'm not saying this won't happen because we've definitely taken people rankings, but it's much harder to get to the top of Google than to actually lose your rankings, because Google now has a feel for you. You have a relationship with Google, and as long as people continue to click your website and actually do something on it, and they stay on your website long, they're clicking through it, and you have good website signals, then I would say not to really worry about it. But most importantly, to answer your question, SEO should not stop. Even if I'm number 1 on Google, still continue to get guest blogs, still continue to get backlinks, still continue to write on your own blog, still continue to do social media, because not only does this help your SEO, but there's benefits of just blogging alone without Google even being a part of the conversation. There's benefits of using social media, building a community. So digital marketing as a whole is basically all connected to each other. And I strongly recommend that you continue to invest in all those different elements to maximize the success of your business. So I would say to kind of keep your foot on the gas and don't let up. And you can also, I didn't mention this, but you can also start going after new keywords. Once you get number one position, find out the next few keywords to go after and keep going so that you can get over 100,000 hits to your website, like Life Marketing, for example.
Okay, next question. This comes from John, who'd like to know, how do you differentiate between keyword density and redundancy?
So the Yoast toolbar, they actually have like a percentage when you're doing when you're optimizing your website, and it's like 0.5%, and I'm sure you probably won't remember that, but basically there's a mixture that they recommend because you definitely don't want to oversaturate your business. But if you're using a tool, a software, or something to guide you around the SEO optimizing process, then it will be as clear as daylight. It will say, you have too many words or you don't have enough. And I've found that tool to be consistent with helping us rank our clients. So I would just say follow the best practices, which are within that Yoast plugin that I told you. But generally, it's about 0.5% is about a good keyword density for your website. And also, I didn't say this during a webinar, but on your pages, it's important to have about 500 to 1,000 words of copy on those pages to help you maximize your SEO impact as well.
Okay, next question. This comes from Summer, who would like to know if you have any tips on how we can show up at the top of the page for multiple services. So Summer says that they're a technology company and they show up first for technology. However, we do not show up at all for web development or computer repair.
Love it. I absolutely love it. So if you go to our website, lifemarketing.com, we are a great example of this. Our homepage ranks for social media marketing company, which is ultimately what we are, a digital marketing company. But if you click on any page of our services, we're trying to rank those pages for different keywords. So our SEO page, for example, is trying to rank for SEO services or company. So if you look at the products, the services, or the different branches of your technology business, try to optimize each page for a group of keywords, and then use the other pages of your websites as opportunities to rank those pages for those keywords, and make those pages only about those keywords. Make it specific to that. So that will be my biggest piece of advice, is to utilize more pages of your website. And also, if you're increasing your backlinks, try to make the text and the anchor text in those backlinks reflect those keywords that you're trying to rank for as well.
All right. Next question. This comes to us from Peggy, who would like to know, how can a video production service get backlinks from businesses that will likely use your service just once or twice a year, or maybe less?
Video's big. Video gives you an opportunity to do a few things, but number one, it helps people understand what you offer, and it gives you a way to have deeper engagement with potential customers. But if we're talking about from an SEO standpoint, video can help you do one thing that's incredibly important. It can help you increase your time on site, basically how long people are staying on your website. Google uses this as a metric to gauge how engaging your website is. So for example, if I add a video that's a 5-minute video to one of my pages and people watch it, instead of a 2-minute time on site, I may have a 7-minute time on site, and that's huge. So it's funny, we're actually hoping to put videos on every single page of our website whenever we get time to. But I can say that about the importance of video as it relates to SEO. In terms of increasing your sales, then I think it would just depend on how valuable that video actually is.
Okay, our next question comes to us from Stephen, who would like to know if SEO helps financial service-oriented businesses increase sales as much as product-based businesses.
Absolutely, because guess what? When people are searching for financial services or financial advisors, they're going on Google. If you use the Google keyword, the Google AdWords planner, and you type in if you type in a financial advisor, financial advisory, financial advisory services, it's getting searched. And the reason I know this is because we have our own accounting and finance company, and we did the research, and there's a lot of people searching for it. And if there's people searching for it, then you definitely need to be on Google trying to capture that traffic. So regardless of what industry you're actually in, I guarantee you, especially from a global perspective, that there is somebody somewhere searching for what you offer, and your goal should be help making your website show up. And if it is not the services that you are actually offering, then think about the questions, remember the pain points that people have when it comes to financial services. So it may be how to create a retirement account, or how to save money. What amount of money should I spend on rent? Whatever your business does, these are questions people may be thinking about that hints that they need financial services. And if you're the content producer, if you're the website they land on to learn that, and your content is good enough to motivate them to contact you, then you've won. And that's the goal that you want out of your SEO campaign.
All right, Sherman, we have time for just one last question here. This one comes to us from Kimberly, who would like to know if it's still possible to use SEO if you don't have a custom website, but you use something like Weebly.
Weebly, Wix, GoDaddy Website Builder, you can try to get the most out of them. But if I had to be honest, I'd recommend that you get off that as soon as possible, if I'm being blunt honest here. WordPress is one of the best websites for design and for just for flexibility. It'll allow you to do everything that you can. I mean, these smaller website engines, they make money off of making it very simple, but you can't do anything with it. And while there's probably blogs out there that will say that this is how you optimize your Weebly website, if I have to be honest here, I'd say that if you want to use plugins like Yoast that's going to guide you through the process and literally make the changes for you, then I'd strongly recommend that you switch over to WordPress or Shopify or something more advanced as soon as possible.
Okay, so those are all the questions that we have time for today. If we did not have a chance to address your question during this segment, we encourage you to connect with the SCORE Mentor. I'm going to post a link here in the chat box that you can follow for further information. And also, if you're attending and are interested in becoming a SCORE Mentor, I've posted a link here as well for further information online. We are going to be sending out a link to the recording and the slide deck after today's webinar. So that's going to go out just a little bit later today. That will also include Sherman's contact information as well as that link that he mentioned for the free analysis. I know that several people asked about that in the chat. So you will have that in hand to reference and contact Sherman as well. So on behalf of SCORE, I'd like to thank you all so much for taking the time out of your day today to attend this session. And I'd like to give a very big thank you to Sherman Standberry for presenting with us today. Sherman, thank you so much.
Thank you as well for the opportunity, and thank you all for listening as well. I'm grateful for the opportunity.
Well, thanks again, everyone. Hope you have a great rest of your day and week ahead.